Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she gets to help create miracles every single day. She's one of the leading fertility specialists in America. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when it comes to practicing medicine, I can't think of a more rewarding career than being in fertility. That perfectly describes my next guest. She's a leading thought leader on fertility issues. Dr. Dorette Noorhasan is in the studio. She's a fertility specialist. She's a best-selling author, and she's the host of the wildly popular Modern Parenthood podcast. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me.
Well, there's so many couples are dealing with this, and you were telling me before the show that a few years ago it was 1 in 8 couples, and now it's 1 in 6. So why is the number on the rise?
Yes, so the number is on the rise. Well, one, it's more awareness. 50, 60 years ago, we all wondered why Aunt Susie never had kids, but no one talked about it. And now there's more awareness. So there is more awareness and people are talking about it, including myself, who has undergone fertility treatments. But also today, we're exposed to more toxins. There are different substances in our food. Microplastics are a big deal. Also, 60 years ago, when a couple got married, they stayed together for better or for worse. Today, they're second marriages. People who've had previous vasectomies, previous tubal ligations, and then in their late 30s, early 40s, find a second spouse and want to have a second set of children. So all those reasons contribute to the increase in infertility today.
And as she mentioned, she went through this herself. We found a wonderful video that you created a few years ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
My husband and I, we met much later in our reproductive lives. We struggled to conceive a child. I myself have personally done 5 cycles of in vitro fertilization to create an embryo that was ultimately transferred to a surrogate. It is because of my surrogate's kindness that I'm a mother today. I truly understand what it's like to be a patient. Dealing with infertility, you can go through so many episodes of sadness and uncertainty before finally achieving happiness. My patient-doctor relationships are based on 3 core values: trust, respect, and good communication. I went to medical school with the intention to pursue obstetrics and gynecology. Taking care of women and children has always been a passion of mine. It is during my obstetrics and gynecology residency that I rotated through the Department of Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility, and I absolutely fell in love with that field of medicine. It is such a rewarding experience to be able to help someone conceive and have a child when they've been struggling with fertility. I'm really lucky to have a job that I truly enjoy doing every single day. There are multiple aspects that I love about my job. The first one is the excitement I see of my patients when they find out for the first time that they're going to be parents. They are beyond excited when they learn that their pregnancy test is positive. And then they show up for that first ultrasound and they see the baby on the ultrasound and hear the heartbeat. I share with them all those tears of joy and happiness that they experience at that time. Another aspect of my job that I enjoy is when I receive in the mail their birth announcements and I get to hear the stories of how the pregnancy progressed and what the baby looked like when it was born and how they got to dress the baby in cute clothes for the photos. It is such a rewarding experience to bring joy to people who truly want to conceive and become parents, and to give them a child that makes them happy.
All right, wow. And we should note that that was done a few years ago, so your little one's not quite that little.
No, he's not. He's 8 now.
Okay, how many couples would you estimate that you've helped over the years?
Thousands of couples. I finished medical school in 2002, finished my residency in 2006, and that's when I started doing fertility. And so 3 years of fellowship and 17 years now of private practice.
Tell me what that moment's like when, you're there and they see their baby in the ultrasound. What's that moment like?
Oh, it's amazing. It's joyous. It's filled with tears, but tears of happiness. These are people who really wanted to have children, and all of a sudden, something that they think was impossible is actually happening. And then when they hear the heartbeat on the ultrasound, it's just tears of joy.
So beautiful. You've written 2 best-selling books. We're going to start with this one. It's called The Fertility Manual, and we're going to put that on the screen. Tell us about this book.
As a physician, we tend to speak, the doctors speak. We talk medicine, and sometimes it just goes straight over someone's head. And so what I wanted to do is to write a book that gives basic fertility knowledge, just breaks down what is infertility. How do I know I have infertility? When should I go see the doctor? Oh my gosh, I went to the first visit and it was overwhelming. I have now a long list of tests to do. And why is it so important that I do all of this testing? And I go back for my next visit and certain treatment options are recommended. And how do I know which treatment option is right for me? So this book was not meant to truly give actual medical advice, but really to educate people about what is infertility so they can walk into their doctor's office and say, hey, tell me a little bit more about this. They feel equipped with the information to ask their doctors the right questions and then make informed decisions.
Yes. And the second book, let's go ahead and put that on the screen, Miracle Baby.
Miracle Baby, A Fertility Doctor's Fight for Motherhood. That is my story of what it's like to be both the doctor and the patient, and to walk in the patient's shoes. And I've learned a lot from my patients over the years. And I too underwent fertility treatments. So I did 5 rounds of IVF. That's 5 rounds of doing daily injections, 3 to 4 injections a day, with 5 egg retrievals. So small surgical procedures where the eggs are retrieved. And out of all of those 5, we got essentially 1 good embryo that was transferred to a surrogate. And it's because of my surrogate's kindness. That's why I'm a mother today.
And I imagine that being able to relate to your patients, I mean, the fact that you had some struggles yourself probably make your bedside manner even more attractive.
Yes, I really understand what it's like to be in that patient's shoes when you get excited that perhaps maybe this treatment will work, and then only for a couple weeks later to realize the pregnancy test is negative and you're filled with sadness. And then how do you scrape yourself off the ground to get back up and do another treatment cycle? And what people go through for fertility treatments, it's quite a bit.
I want to talk about your podcast, and you've been doing the podcast for how long now?
A few months. The first episode aired in February of 2026.
What kind of subjects or guests do you like to bring on your show?
So for my podcast, I wanted a podcast just to talk about infertility. I wanted to educate people, and it's a free podcast. You can listen to it for free. Basic fertility education. So I have physicians that come on and talk about fertility. I also have success stories, people who have been through fertility treatments. And the success stories are important as well because I want others to understand that there is hope. Sometimes it's a few months, sometimes it could be years before the treatment works. But I want people to understand that there is hope. And parenthood is a real possibility. In 2026 in the United States, whether you get pregnant naturally with IVF, some people need donor egg, donor sperm, or surrogacy, so where they have to borrow an egg, a sperm, or uterus to help them get to that baby. And some people move on to adoption. parenthood is very much a possibility here in 2026. And parenthood, I feel, is defined by the love that you can give to a child and how well you can bring that child up, not so much where the egg or sperm came from.
Yes. You did a kind of a trailer for your podcast. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Are you scrolling through TikTok trying to get advice on your reproductive health? Are you doing Google searches and going down rabbit holes? Are your family and friends giving you unsolicited advice? When are you going to have a baby? Have you tried this? Are you doing that? Well, I'm Dorette Noorhasan, a fertility specialist. On my podcast, Modern Parenthood, I'm answering all of your questions reproductive health. We start on February 19th, so if you don't want to miss an episode, please like, follow, and subscribe.
Pioneer.
Beautiful. We have about 2 minutes left, so why don't you look into the camera on the left and talk to that couple that is struggling right now.
If you are struggling with infertility, and you may be scared just to even make the phone call to call the doctor's office, I will tell you, go ahead and make that phone call. Call the doctor's office. And then the next step may seem scary as well. Going in for that new patient visit, here you have to discuss many things that are personal to you, like what happens in the bedroom, why we can't get pregnant. And sometimes you can be ashamed about that, but don't worry. 1 in 6 people today cannot get pregnant naturally and need help. And so there's no shame in going to see a fertility doctor. And definitely get testing done. At least if you get the testing done, you understand why things have not been working out for you and you get answers. And then following the testing, you can learn what treatment options are available to you. But fertility treatments can help many people become parents today.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us. We're going to end with her YouTube channel so you can get in touch with her. And once again, thank you for providing miracles every single day.
Thank you for having me on the show, Jeff.
That's it for now. See you next time.